Dragged through the forum, Sejanus was no longer the feared master of Rome, but a spectacle. His wrists chafed raw under chains, his robes torn away. The mob pressed close, their rage decades old. They had cowered under his rule, and now they would feast on his downfall. The forum was a cauldron of noise. Men bellowed for vengeance, women screamed curses, children clutched their parents, wide-eyed at the sight of Rome's mightiest man undone. No gladiator's match could rival this moment, the public unmaking of a tyrant. The stake stood tall, rough wood scarred by countless deaths. A rope dangled from its top, its fibers darkened with sweat and past blood. Sejanus was shoved forward. He stumbled, legs buckling. He looked upon the rope, and his breath caught. His empire ended here. The executioners wrapped the rope around his neck. The coarse fibers bit into his skin, leaving angry red grooves. The crowd surged forward, eager to witness the first tightening. His eyes darted, desperate, but no ally remained. Rome's fury was unanimous. The rope snapped tight, his face bloated, veins swelling, lips purpling. His eyes bulged grotesquely, rolling back as strangled gasps escaped. His legs kicked wildly in the dirt, clawing at nothing. The mob shrieked with delight, the sound a chorus of bloodlust, but mercy was denied. The rope slackened, releasing him for a cruel breath. He coughed violently, his chest heaving, gasping for life. Then, the rope yanked tight again. The crowd erupted. They demanded not death, but torture stretched across endless moments. Each tightening crushed the air from his lungs. Each slackening revived his torment. His voice, once used to condemn others, was reduced to strangled gurgles. His body swung helplessly, twitches and spasms convulsing with each cycle of suffocation. The sound was sickening. The creak of rope, the pop of cartilage, the wet gasp of lungs collapsing. Children cried and laughed at once, too young to know whether to fear or to revel. The crowd, whipped into frenzy, wanted to see him writhe forever. Blood vessels burst in his eyes, red veins spider-webbing across them. His tongue lolled grotesquely, lips blistered and torn from his own teeth. His fingers clawed at the rope, nails ripping against fiber until they bled. Each movement drew savage cheers. Still, the executioners dragged it out. Loosen, tighten, until even cruelty seemed exhausted. His thrashing slowed, limbs jerking in dwindling spasms. His chest no longer heaved. His face swelled, discolored, monstrous. He sagged, a broken carcass. For a heartbeat, silence fell. Rome inhaled as one. Then the mob howled. A wave of savage joy swept the forum. Sejanus, once untouchable, was dead. But death was only the beginning of Rome's vengeance. They would not let him rest. The corpse swung limply, the rope still cutting deep into his neck. But the mob wanted more. They surged forward, dragging him down. His body hit the stones with a sickening thud. Then began the second execution, death by destruction of flesh. Stones flew, cracking bone, tearing skin. Clubs smashed into ribs, feet stomped his chest, blades carved him apart. His corpse was reduced to pulp, unrecognizable as human. His remains were trampled into dirt, mingled with blood and refuse. Women spat on him. Old men struck his face with sticks until teeth scattered across the ground. Children, encouraged by their parents, threw handfuls of mud, laughing. It was not justice, it was ritual slaughter, the release of years of terror. And still Rome's vengeance spread further. His children were dragged forward, small bodies, eyes wide with terror, strangled by rope before the mob. Innocence meant nothing. Their lives were extinguished to erase his bloodline entirely. The cruelty was deliberate. His death alone would not suffice. Rome needed his name obliterated, his family purged, his memory damned. Statues toppled, inscriptions hacked apart. Sejanus was condemned to vanish, erased by damnatio memoriae. Yet the darkness of the execution lingered. Strangulation was slow by design, each pull a reminder of his crimes, each gasp a performance for the mob. It was not punishment, but theater. Rome staged cruelty as entertainment, and the crowd played its role. The mob's frenzy revealed something deeper. They had lived in fear too long. Their laughter over his body was a declaration. They were free now. His strangled corpse became their trophy, their symbol of survival. Vengeance was their release. The stench of blood, sweat, and fear clung to the forum for days. Dogs gnawed on scraps of flesh left in the dirt. The stones remained stained, mute reminders of how Rome could turn against its own. The city's heart beat on cruelty and spectacle, and history remembers. Sejanus's rise showed the peril of ambition unchained. His fall showed the savagery of vengeance. The rope he cast on others circled his own neck. The mob that once trembled bowed only to watch him die. Cruelty had come full circle. Would you have defied him when his word meant ruin? Or would you have bowed, silent, praying the rope might never find you? In Rome, silence killed as surely as rebellion. The forum's echoes still whisper the price of unchecked power. Thank you for watching. How does this story strike you? Share your thoughts below. And if you thought this tale was brutal, wait until you hear of the man executed by hanging in chains. The fate of Pirate Captain Kidd. London, 1701.